Really? You means that Sam Bankman-Fried recovered $5 billion assets in the shapes of the crypto and the security and the cash, right? Oh, that is a very cool news. I was put $5,000 in the FTX, so it means that I will back something, right? Okay, so thanks for the news. Really great news. Sam Bankman-Fried recovered $5 billion assets in the liquidity, cash, cryptos and the securities, attorney told that the judge. So in this video we shall explain Sam Bankman-Fried why recover $5 billion assets if he did not the fraud. So without wasting any time, starts the video. FTX has recovered $5 billion of liquid cash, including crypto, cash, and securities, attorney told that the judge. The cryptocurrency exchange was once valued at $32 billion but imploded after the reports of the financial impropriety and led to the financials and the regulatory probes and the rest of the CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. Before we dive the video, subscribe the channel and turning on the red notifications button. FTX new CEO John J. Ray had previously attested that at least $8 billion of the customer funds were unaccounted and for in the worst case and controlled he had delivered that. Listen to this interview right now.
The top stories. First up, FTX has recovered at least $5 billion in assets. The company's attorneys told a Delaware bankruptcy judge that the assets were cash, crypto, and securities. That $5 billion figure also includes, quote, any value to holdings of dozens of illiquid tokens, where our holdings are so large relative to the total supply that our positions cannot be sold without substantially affecting the market.
Collapsed cryptocurrency exchange FTX has located more than $5 billion of the assets, and attorney from the firm says that. A US bankruptcy court was told on Monday that the extent of losses to the customer is still not known. The prosecutors have accused FTX CEO and the former chief executive Sam Bankman-Fried and orchestrating epic fraud that may have cost investors, customers, and lenders billions of the dollars. Listen to this interview right now.
FTX's lawyers said that they had found $5 billion in liquid assets. That includes cash, crypto, and securities, they said. This is in addition to the $1 billion that the company had previously said it recovered. They also said they found some illiquid assets. This is all good news, of course, for creditors. Those include customers who are owed collectively $8 billion. And also, that figure does not include the $425 million that is currently in the custody of Bahamas regulators there. Now, the lawyers also in court arguing over the release of FTX's customer names and their identities. Now, usually in a bankruptcy proceeding, the names of the creditors, the addresses, as well as their emails, those are all usually handed over and made public. But the FTX lawyers are saying that that shouldn't happen. Now, the opponents to this measure,
Mr. Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty to charge that he cheated the investors. We have located over $5 billion of the cash, liquid cryptocurrency, and the liquid investment securities, attorney for FTX told US bankruptcy judge John Dorsey in the Delaware. The news comes after the federal prosecutors plans to seize that $500 million worth of the FTX assets as a part of their ongoing prosecutions of the FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried. There are 4 co-signers on the bond, including Bankman-Fried parents who used their homes to secure their son's release. Under the terms of his bail, neither Bankman-Fried nor the co-signers will have to pay any amount of that bond unless Bankman-Fried fails to appear in the court or violates other conditions of the set by the judge. Mr. Bankman-Fried surrendered his passports and must remain under his parents' homes. His attorney have asked the judge to reduce the names and addresses of the 2 identified co-signers out of the concern for their privacy and the safety. Judge Lewis Copley initially agreed that to redact the names but said he would give any interested parties until Thursday to request their unsealing. Inner City Press, a local news outlet, also asked the judge to make the name public. Different authorities are already competing to lay claim to the FTX holdings. The Justice Department last week told the bankruptcy court that the federal government had seized nearly $500 million worth of the shares in the online stock trading company Robinhood tied to the Bankman-Fried and his company FTX. And authorities in the Bahamas, where FTX was based, have seized a stash of the company crypto. It includes a large amount of the FTT token, the highly volatile digital token issued by the FTX, and is worth about $170 million. Meanwhile, Miami-Dade County officials terminated a 90 years, $135 million sponsorship deal with FTX that gave the company naming rights to the arena where the Miami Heat play basketball. The bankruptcy court on the Wednesday signed off an agreement between the county and the FTX new leaders to end the deal, which was inked in 2021, but the two sides could have more to the sell. According to the Miami Herald, Miami-Dade officials, the company breached requirements in the contract that carries a penalty worth 3 years of the rent. FTX collapse was related to the, among other things, a failure to correctly make illiquid assets to the markets. FTX executives including Bankman Fried and Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison borrowed against the value of the FTX issues token FTT. Alameda controls the vast majority of the FTT coins circulating, similar to a public traded company's float, and could not be have liquidated their positions at full book value. That's it for today. If you haven't already, subscribe the channel and turning on the red notifications button. See you next time. Take care.